blood. Just also, as you mentioned, it is very much healthy. What about people who have never donated before?
No, I always say, before you start a campaign like that, put yourself in the place of the person who wants to donate. And ask yourself what kind of questions that person may ask. First, I may have fear because what if they discover I have hepatitis? What if they discover I have a disease when I want to donate blood? It's a bit scary. So you need really some form of consultation. Tell the person, you know, if you discover, it's better to discover it early, because then there is treatment. There is treatment for everything, even HIV/AIDS. I know now. Did you know there is treatment, and it's being given free of charge by the Ministry of Health?
We have this in Egypt. A lot of people would rather not know about the disease. It's a fear, I think.
I think it's acceptable. I mean, in many cases I wonder about it myself. You know, it's just you have to have the trust. And because we work within the ministry, we're luckier working with our health people. So somebody who is coming for the first time may really wonder, may be scared. So we have to reassure him first that if he comes, he will be tested, and if you test, okay, you will donate. If you have something, a problem, we will take care of you, and that's very important. Number two, I want to know that I don't get concomitant infection. If I go to a place and there are other different infections and the syringe is not clean, how can I be sure that the syringes are all new, plastic, they open them in front of me? All these things, it's a culture we need to educate the public with. It goes back to the immunization days, Shahir, when we used to immunize with the measles, and even prior to that, the bilharzia days, when people used to take 12 injections of tartar emetic with a glass syringe, which in many cases was not sterilized sufficiently. Now we have overcome that. We have plastic syringes. They open it in front of you, so you feel that you're safe. It's new. It's very, very important.
You mentioned hepatitis C earlier, and tens of thousands of Egyptians suffer from hepatitis C. Some of them need blood on a regular basis. They have a hard time finding it, not just because of the deficit, but also because there is a ban on imports. Should we be importing blood?
Certain elements of it you sometimes import because they are really deficient. But of course, you must not. You should be self-sufficient. We are 80 million people. How many youth? We are a very youthful population. You know, I mean, what percentage of our population are youth? A very large, and we just heard Her Excellency Mushira Khattab talking about the population problem, which we're all suffering from actually. And I just came from Beirut, and let me tell you, the roads there are even more traffic, more problems than here. And
we have the resource.
And I was in actually discussing this problem with Dr. Hallaj, who is a guru in our WHO office, while we were in Beirut last week. And we were saying, he was just talking about, you know, chicken flu when it had hit Egypt, avian flu. I mean, he gave us the number of chicken that died during that and how much we consume in Egypt. And then he projected how much you will need in the year 2025. How many cows you will need, because the population would increase by that percentage. It was amazing, shocking. I mean, we really need to stop and think. When we increase in numbers, our cows have to increase, our chicken has to increase, our food has to increase, our schools have to increase, our buses have to increase. It's something we really need to look into. From the blood point of view, you are very right. We do have the resources.
So it is a strategic planning.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yesterday's campaign was something, you know, it was very important, very interesting. What about the turnout like, and how effective are such campaigns in our life?
The turnout was okay. It could have been better. It could have been better because, again, how you prepare for a campaign is very important. How you
was it not publicized enough?
It was a good. I mean, we had a good turnout.
For World Blood Day?
Well, I would just encourage every young person, please don't be afraid, come and donate blood. I know some of you have formed groups for thalassaemic patients. Thalassaemic patients need blood all the time, and these young people, Shurian al-Haya and all these NGOs that have come up with young people who have listed their names and their phone numbers, the families know, they call them directly, we need more of you. more of you in the Egyptian society. All of you come out, donate blood.
Dr. Ibrahim Elkerdany, former WHO spokesperson, we thank you for joining us in the studio this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much. Thank you both.
The message is donate blood.
وذكر بيان